Really very unhappy it's taken this long. I don't know whose fault it is, but ASA, I know without any doubt, was aware of this problem months ago. And we
Oh,
had
it's been,
not-
I've had a lot of
And
conversations.
that's the thing, they're telling us one thing that's not true,
was,
and then they're coming back and having to eat crow and change their story.
on the conference call that we had,
Ray Jacoby?
was there someone with the state board on that
Jason
conference
Jackson
call?
was on that.
Jason Jackson.
Was he with the state board at the time?
Yeah.
Okay, when was this?
This was in,
No, I thought, no, at the time that conference call,
It was-
Jason was with ECW because he started jumping on and said when he was with state board, so-and-so, so it was after he left the state board.
I believe it was, he was not an employee of the board.
It may-
He was with ECW.
it was right there, I mean,
Was there-
it was, yeah, there wasn't anybody with the state on the phone call.
So at what point have y'all?
Because
got-
at that point, we didn't involve, because it wasn't with them, it wasn't their, the state's
It
was-
issue. Was between us and ASA and ECW.
I was told that somewhere in this mix that the state board didn't want to do it till July because of
No,
budget.
that was ASA.
Yeah, that,
ASA, their pricing was changing July 1. Their ASA, Ray Jacoby is the one that said that they were trying to hold off until July 1 because it was an ASA. Their funding, their amounts were changing. They're just the billing process. All of, they bill them and they pull it out of our annual budget.
Okay, I thought at the last meeting, there was an update given on it that something about pricing and that,
That comes from ASA. They're the one that gave the quote.
for, just to give a little bit of history, for that pricing, ASA had a regular 3-year contract with a company called CSE that they were renegotiating their prices with. It was their recommendation for the districts to wait until the July 1 start of that contract so that, again, you could enjoy some savings there, so.
Were they aware of our situation
I believe they were fully aware of your situation, yes.
and still wanted us to wait?
I would not like to speak on their behalf, but I think their position would be that you guys had other alternatives to seek for failover or backup options. However, they might be just cost prohibitive. So,
I'm lost on that.
Yeah.
Because Troy Cable, I had Troy Cable at my office, which is 1 block from Commerce Center.
The problem with this is my understanding, now I'm not a telco person, but Troy Cable and CenturyLink come in at the same, help me out, Rob, what do you call it?
Pop.
Yeah, they come in at the same place. That's the biggest issue. So they're having to order new circuits so they can come in separately, so we'll have that full redundancy. But
And that is an
totally on
exist-
CenturyLink now.
that is an existing setup, a proven setup, and
Right.
probably the most plausible solution as to where to put these two backup connections.
And of all the griping I've done, it just got ordered yesterday.
We weren't told that. We were told, I've got emails
And you were told that
that
it
the
was done,
circuit was already ordered. It was a while back.
you were told it was done a week ago?
It would have,
Yeah,
no,
it's-
it would have been early July when I was told.
Told that it was
Who
ordered.
told you?
Rage Cody.
Ray Jacoby?
Yes, sir.
And he's with Supercomputer?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Is that a state agency? Supercomputer, is that a
Yes.
private, it's a state agency? So, he told you the 1st of July.
It was the beginning of July, not the
beginning of
actual
July.
1st of July.
And they were just ordered yesterday.
As of yesterday, his telling to me was that they were ordered yesterday morning. And the explanation that was offered, I will convey this, whenever they gave the state the quote, which I did have to sign off on as far as the agreement for services, so that we could serve as the billing mechanism on the district's behalf.
That was it.
And when was that done, yeah?
That let's see, I will say this, and I don't know that it really matters, but those quotes were due back signed to ASA on June 28th or 9th. I did not receive them until after July 4th, after the 4th holiday, which we have corresponded via email to say, you're not gonna get these by the due date because I received them after the due date.
We got that from her. That's when the last discussion was about it.
Sure.
The minutes reflect that.
But there was probably a week or so maybe that I took the agreements, ran down all the districts, because this does not just impact Davidson County, it impacts about 12 others. And just to make sure that we're all on the same page, and before we enter into an agreement on their behalf, that was what you all wanted to do. They were returned to them, I know that it was before July 20th. I would have to check to see, but it was July 20th, and we received confirmation that the circuits had been ordered at that time. And they had not. But to convey what the explanation given to me yesterday was, they came back and decided that there was a $400 difference, depending on who you asked, a $100 or $400 difference in the install. Therefore, the reason the circuits weren't ordered by one division of ASA was because they thought they needed the updated agreements. But because it was a reduction in the actual price, they should have already gone and ordered the circuits and should not have held up the project. However, it was kind of a right hand, left hand. They didn't make that communication.
They don't know what they're doing, or have no communications. Now,
Well, I'll say this, as far as ASA, they provide the backbone that Engine operates off of now, which handles 75–80% of our 911 calls in the state, and has successfully since December of 2014. So, while there are some communication lapses, to put it nicely, they are doing a very solid and economically feasible business for the state of Alabama in handling our 911 calls, the majority of our 911 calls.
So where do we go from here?